Just over a year ago, Volkswagen introduced their all-new Volkswagen Jetta. It's a great compact vehicle with lots of room and a lot of value. If you haven't seen that video, make sure you check that one out. But today we're going to concentrate on this one, its higher performance sibling, the Volkswagen Jetta GLI. If you're familiar with the Volkswagen GTI, well, this Jetta GLI is essentially a sedan version of that hot hatch. It has a sportier look than the standard base Jetta. You see here, you have that prominent red stripe going across the front, just like the GTI. The grille and the lower valence has an edgy look. This has standard LED headlamps, and guess what? This year is the 35th anniversary of the Jetta, so they've come out with a 35th anniversary edition, which this is. It's an appearance package, but what do you get? Well, standard are 18-inch wheels. This one gets 18-inch wheels that are black or dark gray, and then they're surrounded by a red circle. I'm not sure if I'm a huge fan of the red ring around the wheels. That might be a little bit much, but that's just my taste. Also, everything is kind of blacked out. The window surrounds have this kind of matte black finish. You get black mirrors, even a black roof, and this color, it's called pure gray, and it's exclusive to the 35th anniversary. I really like it. The last time I saw gray like this was kind of like on the Audi RS7. I think they called that the Nardo Gray. And onto the back you have a black lip spoiler, standard LED tail lamps, dual exhaust, and rear diffuser. One big reason people buy sedans over hatch, because they want a trunk. This one is spring-loaded. As you can see, it does not have any type of automatic feature. I really wish that was offered as an option, but you get lots and lots of room. This is my latest suitcase that I've been using. It's great. It's big, it's tall, very tall, very wide. And just to give you an example, that was in there, and even a bike as well. All this in there, and you could fit way more. Just going to give you an example. When I put it in here, there is no effort whatsoever. I'm not trying to jimmy it in there. Put the suitcase in there. 2 grab handles. Want to use either side, depends what you want to use. Close it up, that's it. So that's what you get. It's not over the top, but I think it's just enough when people see it, they know that this is not a standard Jetta. One of the best things about the GLI, especially in Canada, is that it really only comes in one trim level, and it's fully loaded. Other than you can get that 35th anniversary edition like we talked about. So standard, an 8-inch infotainment screen that comes with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. It has a backup camera, it has navigation, and then behind the steering wheel you get a standard digital cockpit, and that is configurable. One thing I like is on the steering wheel there is a view button. So you can change the view just by hitting that button. Very easy to do. You can change all sorts of things in this cockpit. Now, if you're using your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto though, and your map is displayed on the right screen, it will not display in the digital cockpit. If you're using the native navigation system in this head unit, it will display in the digital cockpit, and you can make it so it's full screen so you don't really have to take your eyes too much off the road or off center when you're driving. Just like the GTI, you get a lot of red accents. You get the red stitching on the steering wheel, red stitching on the seats. This 35th has 35th anniversary floor mats. The seats say 35th on them as well as the door sill. It also comes with this panoramic moon roof. It doesn't go all the way back to the back, but it's larger than your standard regular moon or sunroof. And I like the shade because when you pull it closed, it's not fully solid. It does let a little bit of light in there. It just kind of opens it up a little bit. Also standard leather seats, heated and cooled, heated in the back as well. Wireless charging even. This all comes standard. There's only one package you can actually buy for this vehicle, and it's the driver's assistance, which we'll get to when we drive this vehicle. Okay, just like the regular Jetta, there is tons of room back here. Seriously, like almost endless amounts of leg and foot room. We mentioned this does have heated seats in the back. They're not ventilated though. We have a full-size car seat here. We have a armrest with drink holders. One thing to note though, there are 2 USB ports in the front, but none in the rear. And also there are vents in the bottom, but none in the middle, just to make you aware. The regular Jetta is powered by a turbo 4-cylinder engine, and it puts out 147 horsepower. This GLI is also powered by a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo engine, but it puts out 228 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque, which is a huge, huge difference. That is 81 horsepower more than the standard Jetta, and you can definitely feel the difference. The biggest thing is in torque. The 258 pound-feet, that comes on at just over 1,500 RPM. So even under regular driving, you immediately notice how much it pulls you. Now the power is matched to either a 6-speed manual transmission, or you can get the optional 7-speed DSG. And if you get that, you get paddle shifters behind the steering wheel, and you can shift manually. You can also use the gear shifter and put it over to manual, or just put it into drive. And one thing I really like about Volkswagen products, and even Audi, is the gear selector to go into sport mode for the transmission. Because all you have to do is just pull back and it's in sport mode. You want to go back into regular drive, just pull back again. It just toggles on and off, and that's really convenient. Sometimes I don't need all that sport mode. I just want the transmission to be able to be a little more responsive, and that's all you got to do. Other difference on the GLI is the suspension. It gets GLI Sport shocks. It also gets dynamic chassis control. It gets adjustable suspension. And how that's controlled is in your drive mode. We can switch it. Now there is Eco, there is Comfort, Normal, Sport, and Custom. And as soon as we hit Sport, you can hear the exhaust changed there. And in Custom, you can control all sorts of things. And I like to keep it in Custom because I like the steering to be in Sport. I like the engine to be in Sport. But a lot of times when I'm driving in the city, I don't want the suspension to be in Sport. It's a little bit on the rougher side. I want a little more comfy ride. So I can adjust that right in there, and also I can have the exhaust in Sport. And the transmission, I can control myself if I want regular or Sport transmission as well. Now the regular Jetta does not have independent rear suspension. We talked about that in that last review. But this one does have independent rear suspension. Also, this GLI, if you want to compare it to the GTI, has a wheelbase almost 2 inches longer. So yeah, it's not as, let's say, small feeling when you're driving, but that extra wheelbase gives it more stability, and it just gives it a nicer ride. But it's not a sports car. But if you really wanted to have some spirited fun, there's no problem doing it with this. Also, it has variable steering, which is very noticeable when you're in tight parking lots. You really don't have to turn the steering wheel a lot. Now, we talked about there's no options in this trim. In the US, you do have, I believe, 3 trims, but in Canada, it's 1 trim only, and then that 35th anniversary cosmetic package, but otherwise 1 trim. And there's only one option, and that is the driver assistance package. And what that gives you, it gives you radar cruise control, it gives you frontal assist, including automatic braking, and things like lane keeping assist. Now if you get the automatic transmission, the DSG that we have here, the radar cruise control also has a stop and go feature. Perfect example, we're on the freeway right now, and there's something happening. Traffic is not moving very fast. We can set it here, adjust our speed and our distance, and just set it and forget it. This is going to keep our distance, and even if we come to a stop, it'll still work. There we go. Brake lights are on, and we are going to come to us. No, hopefully we keep going. One thing I want to point out has nothing to do with the drive though. We mentioned on this particular model, this is the pure gray color with a black roof. I don't know after driving this for a week if I would actually get this black roof now. Why? we are kind of in a little bit of a heat wave here, and it's hot. That roof attracts a lot of heat. So every time you get in this vehicle, it's pretty hot. Yes, the ventilated seats help, and also this does come with remote start as well. If you wanted to remote start it so it can cool down before you get in, you can do that as well, or in the wintertime, start it to heat up. I know it's not good for the environment, but if you like to use that, it's there. It's amazing. It feels like it's got more power than 228 horsepower, and that torque is just addicting. When you have it in sport mode, you're always in that meaty area, and the torque is almost instant. I could really see owning a vehicle like this GLI. It would work in my family. First of all, my wife could drive it. We'd get the DSG because she doesn't drive manual, or she hasn't for many, many years. And I got no problem with that because this would be an everyday car. You'd be driving it in traffic, and it's no fun to drive a manual in traffic. You could drive it as tame as you want in comfort or eco mode, or you can put it into sport mode. You get that nice throaty, growly sound. You get the suspension shifts that are a lot more aggressive and more responsive, better steering feel, all that. Or you could just have just a regular everyday Jetta. And so you're getting kind of two cars in one. And the GLI just kind of has a grown-up look. Now, I have to give a shout out to my friend David Miller. He's been on some videos before. We went tailgating to Seahawks games. We went to Newfoundland together, and he just purchased one of these Jetta GLIs, and this exact same model, the 35th anniversary, and he told me all about it, so I really had to check it out, and I think he made a very, very good choice in his purchase. The Jetta GLI could be the ideal vehicle for a lot of people, whether you're single, you're a couple, or you have a small family. This thing will work for you. Maybe you're a fan of the GTI, but you don't want a hatch. Well, this will work as well. It offers a lot of practicality, a lot of performance, a lot of value, and best of all, like its GTI cousin, it's a blast to drive. So if those things are on your list, a GLI might be in the future for you. Everyday Reviews has just crossed a major milestone. We've hit over 50,000 subscribers, and better yet, we've hit over 20 million views. And that's all thanks to people like yourself watching this channel. I hope that some of these videos are helping you. I started this channel because I always go to the web. I go to YouTube to find out anything, how to change a wiper blade on a certain vehicle, how to do something. I have a problem with my computer, and I wanted to provide reviews the way that I'd like to see them, whether they're car reviews, they're travel reviews, airplane reviews, you name it. I watch them and I'm like, yeah, some of them are really good, but some of them I think could use improvement. And so I do my best. I could not do this at all without the support of everyone watching. So thank you, thank you, thank you very much. And in appreciation of that, to celebrate, I am giving away a brand new Vantrue N2 Pro dual 1080p dash cam, brand new in the box. Entering this contest couldn't be any easier. All you have to do is subscribe if you haven't. That'll give you one entry. Share this video for another entry, and leave a comment below because I read all the comments and I really appreciate the feedback from everyone. So put that down there and you get another entry. There will be a random draw at the end of June, and I wish everyone very good luck. And once again, thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up, and if you want to see more everyday reviews, hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.